welcome to another episode
of Blam Truckers. He's Views, I'm Bees.
I almost said I'm Bees again, so thank you.
Oh, well, there we go. Welcome back to the wonderful and adventurous world of Blam Truckers, where we just keep on trucking all over the internet here, all over Geekitude. We talk about all sorts of things from movies. Whoa, dropped a remote controller there. Like Ghostbusters 2, because the new Ghostbusters is coming out this year. I'm looking forward to it. Probably going to wait to see it at home, but I might go to the theater. Probably won't. Drop my controller. Can you believe that? I dropped the controller. I love this
I've got Avengers playing cards.
Ooh. I've got the Harry Potter book I brought up last time, or a little bit of Nintendo, classic Nintendo.
I've got Dave Duncan, The Gilded Chain.
I have a controller for Nintendo on Sega Genesis for my computer. So that's set up with a USB port.
And I have a PS3 controller.
Really?
I can't afford a PS4 or PS5, so I'll stick with my PS3. Unless one of you truckers out there want to buy me one, in which case...
Or if Sony wants to sponsor us. Hey, Sony, if you want me to pitch a movie to you, let me know. I have ideas for everything. Even fandoms I don't particularly like, I have pitches for them. How do
you keep from breaking continuity if you're not a big fan of the series, so that you know the continuity?
Because I don't like the series doesn't mean I don't have to know everything about the series.
Fair enough.
Because I probably know more about Doctor Who than you do at this point.
That wouldn't be very hard. I don't know much about the older stuff.
Well,
and I didn't really pay much attention post Capaldi.
If I was going to write a season of the Doctor, it would feature Omega. Do you know who Omega is?
No, actually.
No. Omega is one of the three creators of the Time Lords. The president guy from the old series. The third one, who is hinted it might be the Doctor at various times, but is also said not to be the Doctor at various times. And then after that is hinted at that it might be the Doctor at various times. Continuity is kind of rough in Doctor Who.
Yep.
And then Omega.
And they personally don't care.
No. A lot of the writers and creators are just trying to tell interesting stories. And I can appreciate that. Continuity is generally second to stories in most productions. Omega was the third guy. He never actually became a Time Lord. He might be more powerful than the Time Lords. He had to be exiled to a separate dimension where he is all but all powerful in that separate dimension. But he created a lot of the technology that would allow the Time Lords to travel through time, manipulate time, the regeneration technology, all of that. The regeneration, despite what is currently being said about their regeneration comes from the genetics they studied from an alien species, which is the current understanding of it. The original, or the closest to original understanding of Time Lord's regeneration goes back to the fact that they are beings that are ensconced in time itself, and that they have, I can't remember the name of the devices, but they have some of their mystic artifacts that aren't mystic, they're advanced science. Some of those mystic artifacts, one of them, it's called like the Matrix or the Core or something, I forget the exact name. It's probably the Matrix of blah, blah, blah. The Matrix of Omega or whatever.
The Matrix of Leadership?
No, that's the Transformers. That is what allows them. That's why they only get 12 regenerations, because that's how many their technology allows them. It's not that they couldn't have more, but that's the number they set. It's why the Doctor was given another 12, because the Time Lords have the capacity to give more regenerations through their technology and their manipulation of time itself and the rest of the fabric of the universe. And I don't watch Doctor Who.
Fair enough.
So, we're 5 minutes in, and what we were going to talk about, which we could talk about, is City of Heroes. So, tonight we already did one recording on City of Heroes on the new changes that have come down with the patch this week. And I thought it'd be fun to actually do another sessions about what we love and what we hate, or mostly what we love, because we don't like to focus on what we hate, but what we love about City of Heroes. So, like favorite classes, favorite missions, favorite story arcs, if you have a favorite story arc, which I don't know if you do abuse.
Favorite
builds.
Part. So when it comes to story arcs, I haven't played much through except for the initial stuff, other than the things that we run together.
Okay.
For me, I look at City Heroes the same way I did WoW and, to a smaller degree, EverQuest. I look at it as a graphical interface to chat with people. It's a social
it's a chat box with a video game attached to it?
Yes.
That's how we used to describe EverQuest 25 years ago.
And I am not as, what's the word I'm looking for?
Flatulent?
No, definitely not that.
Defenestrate?
No, I don't think so.
Demonstrative?
No.
I'm glad we're in two different states, because he would smack me at this point.
Tempted to drive. I'm not as social as I used to be, because it used to be that in EverQuest and such, I would talk to people, make friends. I did the same in WoW when I first started playing it, and I would try to make friends online. Some of my close friends who I talk to this day.
Our Texan friends.
Yes.
Texan Friend 1 and Texan Friend 2.
And Texan Friend 3.
3?
For me.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
I'm not friends with Texas Friend 3. I've only met him once or twice.
Fair enough.
I'm not saying I don't like the guy or girl. I've only met them once or twice. I can't really say, "Oh, we're the best of friends." We're not. We've met each other. He seems cool, or she.
Yeah.
I haven't met them in real life.
I think we might be talking about two different people, but yes. But anyways, we'll talk about it later.
I just don't want to assume genders.
Fair enough. But
because Texas Friend 1 is the one who came up here and visited.
Yes. Yeah.
Texas Friend 2 is the one that me and him used to blow money in Star Wars: The Old Republic together.
Yes.
Ridiculous amounts in his case, and for me, ridiculous amounts. But I was spending maybe a 20th as much as he was. And after you could buy these in-game purchases in Star Wars: The Old Republic, and it was random stuff. And none of it, in fact, really affected gameplay. It was just like cosmetic stuff. And after about the 5th one I bought, I'm like, why am I spending my money on this? I don't use any of it. And it was to keep up with Texas Friend 2.
Yep. And I'm certain EA BioWare were very, very happy for your purchases.
I think I dropped a total of $20, all said and done.
Oh, you were definitely not keeping up with him.
Not even close. He kept up for about a night, and then the wisdom in the back of my head kicked in. It's like, was this worth $20? No. At the time, $20 was an hour's worth of work, and I'm like, maybe it was worth an hour's worth of work. But I had fun, so.
Yeah. I mean, look, to all of our trucker friends out there, as long as you can afford it, as much as microtransactions suck, if it's happy and you know what you're spending your money on,
clap your hands.
If you have the money to spend, it's your money. Don't worry about it. But just don't fall into the hole that some
gambling.
people. Yeah. Be responsible. Don't be like the person who blows $10,000 on Raid Shadow Legends and can't afford to make their car payment or mortgage payment or rent payment or eat.
Real life comes first.
And that's actually a rule that pretty much every game we've played in, every guild we've been in, whether we're running it, whether
Yep.
we're officers in it, or whether we are just regular people, real life comes first.
That's a B's original phrase right there.
I've heard it from other people who didn't get it from you, but yes.
Well, let me tell you where that originated. Playing EverQuest with Jay, which is just the first initial for their name, not their name. Our friend with the J, first initial.
Mm-hmm.
On your account, I was in your room in college, and he was playing EverQuest on your account, because we all started playing on your account, on your computer. And he was sitting there. Was it him? It may not have been him, but it was one of the, 5 of us that were playing off your account?
I had multiple J's playing off my account anyways.
Oh, in that case, we have managed to keep his anonymity. We would all end up getting our own accounts. It might have been our friend Stubby, but Stubby Quick Fingers. But anyway, whoever it was, I'm sitting there reading an X-Wing book, and as opposed to, or maybe I was actually doing school homework, I don't know. But they're sitting there playing the game, and they're going, I really got to go study for a test. I got a test tomorrow, or I got to go write a paper, or whatever it was. And I looked up from the book I was reading. I'm like, my homework's done, man. I'll jump on the computer. You go play. Real life comes first. How much are you paying to go to college? Yeah, don't answer that. How much are you paying? How are you paying to play on Buse's account? Yeah, real life comes first. Go. So that was 1999. Anybody want to predate that? And then we started saying it on when we all had accounts shortly thereafter. Because we just tried
and they
it.
all surpassed me.
Yes, we did. They all surpassed me too because I couldn't stay with one character. Back then, anyway. I have to know how everything works. What was I saying? I started saying that to people online. You got a test, man. Real life comes first. You gotta get to work. Real life comes first. Go log off the game. And then it went through our guild at the time, and then our other guild when we went to the new server. And I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people came up with the same phrase, but 1999, I came up with that. I can claim it. I never heard anyone say it before that. I wasn't playing enough EverQuest at the time or any other online games at the time. Because I think my character got all the way up to level 5 before I'm like, I'm done with this. It's not fair to you playing on your account. It's not fair to me not having my own account. So yeah, I ended up getting my own computer, getting my own account. But yeah, real life comes first, folks.
Real life comes first. Whether it be time or money, real life comes first.
Oh yeah. So, what classes do you like to play in City of Heroes?
So far, out of the ones I've played, if I just want to kind of sit back and not be very responsible, Mastermind and Blaster are my favorite if I don't want to pay too much attention. If I'm really into it, I like playing my tanker, I like playing my brute. I'm starting to like my defender, but I haven't really done any grouping with it yet, so I don't know how that'll be in the end, but that's...
What kind of defender are you running? I forget.
For defender, I am running Time Psychic.
Ooh, I've never played a time. Interesting. So, I've played just about everything. I've played every archetype. It would be easier to tell you the ones I don't like, which are the advanced archetypes. I just don't enjoy them. And so that's your Arachnos Soldier, your Arachnos Widow, the Warbringer, and the Lightbringer? Peacebringer?
Peacebringer. I've got one of those, but I couldn't get into it. But you need more of a group for them.
Okay. And Dominators. I'm not a big fan of Dominators. I like Controllers more than I like Dominators.
Even though we just talked about Dominators in one of the previous episodes.
Oh, I played all of them. So I know I don't like them. I've tried them. The reason I don't like Dominators is I just like blasters more for doing damage. I like the play style. Dominators are very effective at locking things down and then killing them. Blasters are just good at killing them. Um, yeah, I really like blaster play style. I really like ranged. I love range damage. Most RPGs, I have at least one ranged damage character maxed out, sometimes more. To the point where in Star Trek Online, I actually have a missile boat, just because missiles do the same amount of damage at range as they do close-up. Beam weapons and energy weapons, the closer you get, the more damage you do. So I actually have an entire build, a number of builds actually, that are based on missile boats, so I can stay at maximum range. I like my tanker a lot. I mean, a lot. We should actually do a video on, like, one of the videos I suggested we do is on tactics, MMORPG tactics, and City of Heroes, and where they apply and where they don't. But I like being the tanker. I like being a tanker in a group more than I like being a tanker solo, though I do enjoy solo tanking because it is the most mindless thing I think I've ever done in an MMO. I will just go into the instance, run up to the first group of villains, attack them, the mobs, attack them, and put my AoE attack on auto attack, and I'm done. I'm gonna alt tab out and read a book, watch some TV show, give it about 5 minutes, alt tab back, and clear up whoever I need to clear up, and move on to the next group. It is a quick and easy way to farm. It is a quick and easy way to get through, solo time. What I use that for mostly nowadays is when I'm doing chores around the house. Like, I did a load of laundry today while farming. I'm a stone tanker. They couldn't kill me if they tried, and they tried. I enjoy masterminds to some degree. Usually when I'm playing a support class like that, whether it's a controller or a mastermind, I'm more focused on the controlling part of it. Lately, I've been working on a defender, debuffer, a poison defender, because I'm on this new server Reunion. It's not new, but it's a low population server. It's new to me. And a lot of the groups I get into for endgame content didn't have enough debuffing skill to make the fights work well. Sometimes we couldn't even get through the end fights because we didn't have enough debuffers. So I built the debuffer. I'm good with the playstyle. I'm good at it. It's okay. I don't love it. I wouldn't be playing this if it wasn't needed, but I do like to feel needed when I'm doing MMOs. I mean, playing an MMO solo is fine, but one of the reasons you play one is to do stuff with other people. I know that quest you're doing. You're disguised as a Hellion right now.
Yep.
When I look like this, I'm looking at our shared screen. So those are the classes I like right now. I'm playing a stone tanker for the most part, and I've got a water stone rad tanker because rad is the best AoE attack set, secondary for tankers. Almost every single target attack with the contamination process. I don't know what it's called. I know what it's called. I can't think of it right now. But with contamination, which is one of the aspects of how the game plays for rad, radiation melee, with contamination, my single target attacks become AoE attacks, which in turn helps me hold aggro. In City of Heroes, it works that every time you hit something as a tanker, it's the equivalent of a taunt, putting you at the top of the aggro list. So the more hits you can get in, on the more targets you can get in, the more mobs you can keep on yourself. I hope that made sense.
Similar, slightly different with the brute as well.
Yes. Almost exactly the same. So my goal in making my tank wasn't to make it the highest damage, but to give it the most number of hits. So I've got 2 auras running, one from radiation, one from stone. 2 damage auras running. They're both fully kitted out. I've got an AoE attack and 3 individual attacks and 1 ranged attack. not including all the attacks I bought from the pay-to-win vendor, which is now called the start vendor, so that if everything's on cooldown or I'm getting slowed, I can still get out a number of attacks to keep my aggro at the top, so I don't lose aggro. Because I'm a tank, baby.
Because I'm a tanker, baby.
So why don't you play with me? Everybody!
And
So,
on my screen, you can see the start vendor.
Yeah.
In all of her glory.
all right. So that puts us at about 20 minutes. Anything you want to add in? Any closing thoughts for all of our Blam Blam truckers out there in Blam Blam Truckerland?
My main closing thoughts will be thank you again for your watching us. Bees and I really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Even if I do have slight identity issues in knowing whether or not I am Bees on any given moment. But
it's only happened
please,
3-4 times so far.
I know, right? But please, like, share, subscribe if you enjoy our content. I used to always be annoyed when content creators said stuff like that, but I understand, especially for us. We're just trying to grow, have ourselves out there. If you don't like us, that's fine. Heck,
Subscribe anyway. No.
throw a dislike. It still gives us engagement. And you know what? If you don't like it, put in a comment in there.
Tell us. Why are we getting engagement? I thought you were already married.
Well,
I mean, I could use a little engagement, but that's a whole other story.
But yeah, like, share, subscribe, interact with us. I do pay attention to comments. It might take me a little bit longer, but even some of the stuff we did tonight was a direct response to a comment that was left, which is cool because this is the first time I can say that. We're doing this, yes, because we're two friends who like to hang out, but we're also doing this for you guys. And the more engagement, the more people that watch, the more we're going to possibly be able to do. And we want to be able to do that. Maybe hire someone who's much better at editing than I am.
A bediter?
A bediter. And you know what? Maybe I'll put myself in the middle of the screen again. But yeah, someone who's better at editing than I am, so that we can actually have better content. We can, move up the ranks of YouTube, and also just in general, so our stuff looks better.
Who can take the sunshine right out of your red eyes? The bediter can. The bediter can. The bediter can, and he mixes it with love, with Photoshop.
Probably more Adobe Premiere, but
with Adobe Premiere.
But all right, well, we thank you guys very much. You have a wonderful rest of your day and week, depending upon, well, I guess your day and week, no matter when in the week you're watching this. But we will see you later. And
we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh no, this is going to go before then this time, I think.
This time. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy Blam Blam.
See you, truckers.